don't have a brain. But like Nicholas
But
is
isn't
the
it?
opposite.
Isn't it if they get you like down far enough though? Like then they steal your brain, so wouldn't having the high intelligence be good?
They
I can't remember.
You need to be incapacitated, and if you're
Mm.
incapacitated, like stunned, then they can use their
Yeah.
extract brain ability. It then
Oh, okay.
deals,
They can just do
well, it
it.
deals 10d10 damage, and then if it brings you to 0, then it kills you.
Yeah.
Ah, okay.
So it
I thought
could,
it had to
on
do.
absolute average damage, one-shot Nicholas from full health. So he is.
You know.
Plus,
has
he's
an
also not very
Fine.
good at grappling and stunned and all that.
Yep. This is. Oh, it's not where he wants to be, and I totally understand. I totally
Yeah.
get it.
Robert straight up didn't even have a brain, so like he would have been fine.
Sure.
Thinking about how the Illithid would have reacted to Robert makes me laugh.
Right.
He'd probably just be confused.
Yeah. I mean, he was confused with Mia. He's very confused about Mia. But, alrighty. So, I think I heard Ken Badoop his way in.
Yes, I'm here.
Right, well, we'll go ahead and get started with the next leg of our journey. As we pick up here deep beneath the spine of the world, following a path that you had uncovered through a series of journals that Aerith and Emmeline found within the libraries in Erebor of previous adventurers who had been called or destined to traverse the spine into the Dale Lands in order to help bring balance back to one of the elemental planes, or there were a number of different reasons provided why the adventurers would travel that way, but you found a number of pathways. The one you chose to follow stretched out from Parnast through the Underdark and towards where you hope is going to be one of the dales on the opposite side. You arrived in Parnast, killed a cultist, traveled through the cold, built yourself a 10 out of Ken's coat, and then found the path deep beneath the mountains into the Underdark. This long and circuitous path that for some reason diverged into an entirely different plane of existence, but eventually made its way back to the caves deep beneath the world. And as you guys walked and walked and walked, and the day trudged on in the monotony of the endless tunnels, you came across a lone figure sitting in the tunnel. Humanoid in shape, he was sitting against the wall, hunched over, and seemingly had just given up. You approached cautiously, and seeing that he was under the guise of an illusion, confronted him about it. The man, finding himself in a precarious situation, opted to reveal the truth and revealed himself to be a mind flayer, an Illithid of the Third Colony, a group located deep beneath the spine that has, since before history, protected the realms of Faerun and the Sword Coast from the strange and erratic threats that can make their way in from the chaotic Dale Lands to the east. However, the colony that he lived within and was a part of recently found itself in a bit of trouble as the nearby Red Dragon, Thembershad, had come to pay a visit. Changes in the world bringing him to a point of erratic concern. He lashed out at the group that had been essentially keeping him as a pet, and struck against the hive mind. And in that battle, something happened. Unknowing to you guys, as all you have is the story from the one surviving Illithid that managed to flee the colony, Magenta. This is what you guys do. You kill dragons. If it's dragon related, you got this. And Magenta assured you that there was no other way through save for, going back and trying to find another passage through one of the other colonies to the opposite side. And that he could lead you to Drama Shore, his home city here beneath the spine. But he didn't know what to expect there, as he had fled and given up, and had pretty much just sat down and waited to die when you showed up. You proceeded through the long, cavernous passageways, and as you got close, you emerged onto this wide, cavernous space where you couldn't see the ceiling save for some strange, like, flickering. They're almost like starlights, but you know them to be the strange, glowing worms and grubs that live bioluminescently down here. And stretched out before you, these humongous stalagmites emerging out of a cloudy and shadowy abyss, and built into them a series of bridges that stretched between, with buildings around the outside and tunnels that seemed to carve in through them. Magenta presented you to Drama Shore and showed you the path down towards the gatehouse, the only entrance into this side of the city, the only place where anything could attack them from Faerun, or get through into Faerun. And as you drew close, he began to feel the strange, aberrant changes within the mind flayers that were standing guard. And as you got close enough to get a visual, you saw them burning from within, these almost fire genasi-like illithids that were constructed of heat and earth, standing guard out front of the gatehouse. Identifying them as aspected, the strange creatures that happened to make their way deep within from the Dale Lands, Magenta lamented at the loss of his brothers and pretty much told you guys to prepare for battle. Mia, however, in her endless optimism, wanted to talk to them. So you guys approached cautiously, and as you drew closer, they struck out at you. And knowing that they probably weren't going to be open to conversation, you guys were not surprised, and a battle ensued, where you dealt with some of these strange, arcane-like abilities that these illithid were able to control. The ability to create almost replications of arcane spell work, but out of psionics. And without the spell work and the natural weave of arcane there, you found no way to counterspell any of their more potent magics. And it was a bit painful. However, you guys did make it through, smashing your way into the front of the gatehouse and into the relative safety here within. And that was where we left off last game. A conversation over a short rest, in which you guys got to know a few more things about Magenta, his favorite color, obviously, magenta. His favorite number, 10,233. His favorite, I remember. His favorite his favorite animal, rock gnome. His favorite food, also rock gnome. And that was where we left off. You guys finished up your short rest. I see hit dice have been rolled, so
Yes.
I will leave it up to you all.
Ken's gonna look at Aerith real quick, and it's like, hey, got a sec.
Sure, what's up?
So, this dragon, based on the description, is definitely not the ordinary types that we've run into so far. If push comes to shove, you know who might make a comeback. Well, technically me, but you get the.
Yes, I get what you're insinuating.
I just want you to know that, this is only a last resort type thing. Obviously, it won't go like last time where I was kind of not all there mentally and kind of did it out of desperation. So I just want to let you know, I've been training. It won't go like last time.
Okay. But I will be pissed if something bad does happen to you. Forewarning.
Understandable. And like I said, it's a calculated risk. And we'll just, do like we usually do. And it shouldn't even be a thought if we play our cards right.
Right.
Yeah.
One last thing I thought.
What's the worst that could happen?
Aw, you beat me to it. I was busy typing that.
It's fine.
Remember, we took a short or a long rest.
It was a
Short.
short
Sure.
Okay.
But it is like 12:30 in the morning. You guys are adventurers, so you're used to pushing through, and with no sign of outside like light or nighttime, it's kind of hard to tell what time it is. But Ken, you know it to be past midnight, and you can push on, but depending on how long it takes you to push, you risk pushing exhaustion. You've got like 8 hours essentially until you hit an exhaustion stack.
Oof.
He is starting to look sleepy.
And it might be worth long resting because doesn't Aerith already have an exhaustion stack from that fucking ring?
He does.
Oh, yeah, I do.
At the end
Oh,
of the
yeah.
battle, the tingling sensation that Aerith had initially felt during combat that gave him a burst of acuity and speed took its toll. Aerith is looking a bit tired right now.
Okay, yeah.
We definitely don't want to go in a fight with one of our boys exhausted,
Right.
and even more, all of us on one level and then him on two. I think that might not be good for us.
Yeah, no, I'm not taking that risk. Let's just huddle up and rest up as much as possible before we face off against this thing. Magenta, would you be willing to allow us to have a couple hours to rest up, and we'll be able to be at full fighting force, as it were?
Like, stands at his full height and looks out towards the north and looks back towards the group. You may take what time you deem necessary, but remember how close we are. It is risky to linger.
We're only
However,
gonna get closer.
kind of like looks at Mia and with an almost like raised eyebrow nods. Precisely. From here there will be no place to find respite, save for the hollows in the ground.
Is
Understandable.
that where the shadows live? I don't want to go there.
Not those hollows.
Okay. What hollows?
The caverns that we call our homes. The rooms within the markets could be potential places of safety, but kind of looks back. Beyond here, I fear we may be more noticeable.
Right. Well, yeah, I guess this will be the best time to go ahead and rest up as much as we can, guys. No going back after this.
I
I
will.
like this plan.
Oh.
I'm tired. Sorry.
I will literally cast the Immense Tiny Hut.
Okay. Where do you cast the hut? Where are you guys hunkering down?
I
Look
figured
at
we don't.
better.
I can't click my token.
What?
Oh no. Are you broken again?
Maybe?
The exhaustion's hitting way harder
I
than we
know.
thought.
And now you're tiny.
Look at him. He's just a little guy.
Not correct token or the correct. It's not tied to anything correctly. Hold on.
Can Aerith, can you
Imagine-
make the bubble on top of the beds?
It won't be that large, but I can certainly try.
Is this one?
Imagine if Aerith got shrunk and his little hat got shrunk with him.
Tiny little hat that could fit on a bug.
It'd just
It'd
a
be like
tinier
a
hat.
thimble. Yeah.
Default token.
Restarted my game, see if that helps. Notification on my phone. Okay, never mind.
Use the
There's
select
two of
token.
me.
There are. It's complicated. That's why you lost control of yourself, is
Ow.
because you have 2 character sheets.
Because you split into 2 Aeriths and now the universe is compromised.
Ogma had to fix things.
Yeah.
All right, so you cast Liamid's tiny hut. Are you guys standing watch?
I guess, yeah. Yeah, I think that'd be smart.
Why are your character sheets not opening, Aerith?
You're
I
broken.
volunteer for first
I
watch.
didn't break it first, I swear.
Magenta will stay up with you, Ken, and just kind of like keep you. He will offer to stand watch alongside you. Here.
Oh,
Nicholas,
yes.
Here. Okay. Okay.
Where
Let
did my
me get
character
Aerith's
go? Oh, sorry.
character
You're
sheet.
working on it.
Here, Nicholas. Rest your old tiny bones on the bed, because I only trance. You can have the bed.
What did I do?
Look at little tiny Aerith back over there, dude.
This is the
Itty
correct
bitty Aerith.
Itty bitty living space.
Use a selected token. Save changes. Close. Close. Delete. Delete.
Delete, delete,
There we go.
delete.
Can you move
Aerith.
that token?
No.
No? What?
No. I don't know what's going on.
Because you own... No. Wait, it didn't... It didn't...
The mind flayers are getting us already, dude. This is how it starts.
This is how it starts.
There it is. Now I can.
Okay. Alright. Got it.
I
Figured it
was
out.
wondering, I was just like, wait, I'm missing my health bar.
Yeah, it was all janky. It was all janky. Okay, it should be fixed now. So,
Wee.
hold on, let me this back up for a second.
Ken, you don't have to sit outside the circle. You can sit inside the circle.
As you cast the circle and it kind of like manifests itself, any particular color?
Probably to match the stonework.
Just kind of this bubble of stone that fills in the area and obscures you all from outside view, but you can see through it like a one-way mirror. It kind of manifests out of the ground in a circle and coalesces at the top, and as it surrounds you all, Magenta kind of like drifts into it and looks very uneasy about it, and it settles down onto the ground. And like you see the shape of knees kind of poking through the robes that he's wearing, but there's not much definition. He definitely skipped leg day.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna lock the door
Okay. Mia goes over and
and then go
pulls
back to
the
bed.
heavy wooden barricade down over the door and heads to bed. Ken, can you roll me a perception check with advantage? As you all kind of settle into your individual spaces to trance. All right. Let's see. Things. Okay. Okay. All right. So as you each find a comfortable place and begin your long rest, Ken, you keep your eyes towards the doors. The one over here that you've kind of already investigated to find to be it's like a kill room for archers, where you can have, or I guess not archers in this case, but mind flayers, where they can be hidden behind these wooden walls and see through these slits in order to attack within the main hallway.
I didn't realize there was another door my character sheet was open over it. Can I lock that one too?
Sure. But you keep your eyes on these two passageways as you sit your watch, and after about 2 or 3 hours into your watch, as you're getting close to the end of it, Magenta, like, his head kind of pokes up and he looks over towards the door and looks back at you, and you hear in your mind, "I believe they have begun to detect our presence. We need not worry yet. A simple probe of the area, but we should stay vigilant."
Understood.
Kind of like nods and looks over at Mia. Looks back at you, Ken.
She's asleep.
Who is she? I have never met a creature like that.
You and me both, friend. She kind of just appeared out of nowhere one day. She is definitely unique. I'm honestly not sure how to describe her, but she's something special. Powerful, too.
He nods to that. I can smell it on her. Her mind is like a crate with the label torn off. Empty, but you know something is supposed to be there. Missing.
Yeah. Not sure how to help her with that, but maybe with time we can get some answers. But until then, I'll keep an eye on her, protect her.
Protect yourself from her too. We know not from where she comes, and therefore looks over. I do feel she can be trusted, but kind of like shakes his head. I don't understand why.
Yeah, just like I said, she's just unique. It's just one of those things that we just don't have the answer for right now.
I don't like it.
Don't like it.
Kind of like sits back.
No.
The rest of your watch passes without any concern. There are a few more sounds coming from far away, but like with a 19 perception, you can just barely hear it. It's so distant. This kind of like rumbling, and at one point in the night, you hear distant roar, but it's kind of hollow and echoey, very far away. Nothing coming close to you guys within your watch. Who are you waking up for second watch?
That be the good scout man himself, Oni.
Okay. See, I need to see.
Oh wait, oh he needs his trance, so. Nah, I mean, yeah, I'll get him next.
All right. I'm just. I think mind flayers need to sleep.
Maybe.
It doesn't say they don't, and so that kind of leads you to believe that they do, because they're creatures. So,
I mean, push comes to shove, I can just have Fafnir, or not Fafnir, Mini-Me and the kiddos assisting with the watch. I don't have Fafnir anymore.
Okay. As you awaken Oni, he kind of like curls up into a tiny ball, like almost like a dog, on the ground. And as you awaken Oni, do you get anybody else up or just Oni? Or you have the kids out with him, right?
Yep, Minnie and the kids are with him.
Okay. All right. Oni, go ahead and roll me a perception check with advantage as you begin your watch.
Already?
Okay. All right.
24.
2 9s, but 24. Uh, all right. As the early hours of the morning creep on, it is still and quiet down here. There's enough fresh air that it's almost like being down in caves is not usually a place where it's easy to breathe, but you don't find yourself having that difficulty. With a 24 perception, you're noticing that let's see how to phrase it. It's closer to being like back in the Dale Lands down here than you were expecting, where it has this almost like unique feel. Going back through your memories of the journey, you can remember passing through the tight tunnels and places where the air would become stagnant and still. You'd move through the bends and it would open up with new vents. But since meeting Magenta, you haven't really found that to be the case. It was about when the tunnel opened up that it became easier to breathe. As far as threats down here, during your watch, nothing comes close to the guardhouse. There's the sounds of roaring in the distance, but unlike any dragon you've ever heard, it's almost like it's sucking inward or echoing through magic itself, as opposed to the air. But nothing comes to attack
So
you guys, and
very ominous and extremely unsettling is what you're saying.
exactly, that is the feeling you get from being down here. But nothing attacks you outright. And you've probably got to get about another hour of trance. But during your watch, Aerith finished up his, and was able to kind of keep you company during the second part. So Aerith, if you want to just roll me a perception check with advantage for the third watch, since your trance is done.
I'm all rested up.
You are.
Perception. Hey, I'm doing great, you guys.
Yeah.
Okay. Second.
I see everything.
I'm sure there's nothing out there in the dark waiting for us. What's the worst that could happen, you know?
Exactly.
As Oni kind of sits back down into his trance and settles himself back into that night, you kind of like step out of the bed and like pace around a little bit, staying within Liamit's hut for the security and the safety. You hear the occasional rattling to the north, and it causes you to like jump and look, but nothing comes through the door. Nothing is even like the door doesn't move. It wasn't a knock on the door. And then you hear a voice in your mind. And at first, you panic because a voice in your mind around Illithid, that's not good. But then you recognize the voice, and you recognize the voice because the spell sending tells you who the voice is. You hear Emmeline's voice as she says, Aerith, there's a woman here claiming to be your sister. She wants to know if you've heard from your mother. Unfortunately, that was 22 words, so I can't go any further.
I will reply, not recently. but I have been giving her updates on my current adventures and whereabouts. I don't know how many words that was.
We know that
Probably
Aerith
not
had
it.
a sister.
It was established recently, and so I am now utilizing new background
Ah,
language.
I see.
I
Uh-huh,
mentioned
uh-huh.
it in our like group chat of finding Ken a wife.
Yep. Yep.
I
It
must
was-
have missed it then. Damn.
Mm.
It was brushed over very quickly. Only Cade pointed it out.
Oh, I
Right.
noticed
Well,
these
we were
things.
yes anding. Couldn't be like, what the fuck?
But yeah, that was my message.
It's like saying Aureus has 3 family members that you all are unaware of.
He's got 3 wives.
Um,
No, Aureus is fucking Henry the Eighth.
because you were sending letters back. I'm trying to remember when the last letter went back. 'Cause you were sending them with feathers, right?
Yes.
But it was before going to Parnast.
I think I would have messaged.
Did you though?
I mean, he could have sent another one when we were forced back to.
But did he though?
I didn't.
Because I don't think he did. Uh,
We've been busy.
That's
It's
the
fine.
struggle of hindsight right there, bro.
I have a question because I'm preparing my spells for the day. Can mind flares detect invisibility?
let's see. Roll me a.
I mean, I guess I could ask him.
Well,
Or a nature.
yeah, I was gonna say, do we even need to roll? You could just ask Magenta because you do it at the start of the day, right? We could just be like, Magenta, can you see invisible? Can you see through invisibility? What's your whole
Can you
vibe,
sense
sir?
invisibility, people?
We do not see the invisible creature, but we can sense the presence of a mind.
Okay. So
It's essentially detect thoughts. So yeah, if they've got detect
invisibility, no
thoughts.
bueno. Okay.
Let's see. You get a reply. It takes a moment after you reply to Emmeline, and then you get another reply from Em. She's worried. She's been looking for her, but no one can find her. She came to Iriabor looking for you to see if you knew anything, but that was where her message trailed out.
Uh-oh. I will try and send Mother a message and let you know if I get a reply back. So I guess I'm gonna be using 2 spell slots.
At the start of the day.
At the start of the day.
You don't
So
have to. It's up to you.
Don't you just love to see it?
it's fine. I have to do it anyway. I'm going to send a message to my mother. Hello, Mother. I am currently in the Underdark, and I am doing fine. It was brought to words.
Words, right?
I know.
Also, you don't have a lot of them. You only got 25. Hello, Mother. Let me write you a letter through my brain.
Yeah.
It's the Bender meme. It's like, hello, this is Bender. You may not have heard of me, but oh my god. Let's see. Okay, that was it. I need to get her name out of our group or out of our chat. As you guys kind of stir from your long rests, you awaken to see Aerith kind of like looking down at his hands and muttering a little bit under his breath.
Counting on his
The
fingers.
tiny hut goes and dissipates around you as the 8 hours is up. Okay, those are not bad.
They're good spread. One bad, one good, one middle.
Yeah.
I mean that
You
I
can
can force
give-
them to get the one, so I would say this is really good.
Yeah. That's pretty handy, dude. Not gonna lie to you. There might be a point where one of us is gonna die, and you get to give them a one instead of whatever they would have had.
I mean, if things go bad
Honestly, a
enough,
19 is also pretty fire too.
Mhm.
I do have a way out if things go terrible. Let's just hope that's not the case.
Usually the hope, I suppose.
How was it to whisper to someone? Was it /W or W/?
/W. GM.
/W space GM.
Space GM, that's what it was.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
I don't know.
That was 23. I think I counted it.
Yeah, no, that looks good. I've gotten a pretty good just sense for it from all the sendings I've had to do. You feel the spell connect, and you immediately feel relief because you know that means she's alive. You didn't feel it have to push through any planes, and it didn't bounce back like it had been when you tried with Rose. But as you sit, you hear it's like being on the phone with somebody, but they're not saying anything. It's almost like empty, echoey emptiness, like just like that emptiness around your mind being replied to you, and then it cuts off.
You get a dial tone.
It wasn't a dial tone. A dial tone would have indicated it didn't connect. It connected. It was like she picked up the phone, didn't say anything for 6 seconds, and then hung up.
Sure, it's fine.
Sure, she's just having tea with someone right now.
She's busy. Also, it's like what 3 in the morning over there.
Right now,
Time differences.
It's about it's about 8 a.m. back in Erebor Standard Time.
What time is it over in where Aerith lives?
Lintier, it's probably about 7. Lintier is
Okay,
like
not too bad.
Sword Coast isn't very wide, so it's only like maybe 1 time
Time
zone, maybe
zone.
2. It's really, really fucking tall. But as you all finish up your long rest, get your spell slots back. Aerith uses one of them. Anybody
Jesus,
else?
two.
You guys...
About to.
It was great though. I'm so glad you made her a fighter because like it meant that she didn't have sending, and so she had to go all the way to Erebor. Oh no. That's what, like 3 chain lightnings?
Yeah. Each one takes 7. Or not chain lightning, but thunder or lightning bolt. 7th level lightning bolt.
Yeah. It's a little bit better.
The chain lightning is for my own personal spell.
Okay, I have another questions.
Mm.
Can mind flayers get charmed?
Kind
Magenta.
of like looks down at you, raises his tentacles in a like quizzically smiling way, and you hear in your mind, "Of course, we are as susceptible to charms as any other magical creature, though we do have some resistance to it."
That's good enough.
Kind of like sits down next to you. Now tell me in return, what is your story? I have met many creatures, but never so well seasoned.
I am not
Excellent.
some food to be savored. I'm just very old.
And the nods. I did not
No.
mean to offend, just a observation.
I am got to pull up my character sheet. Where is my age? I have it written down somewhere. That's not right. That's old. Where is my age?
No,
Jesus.
I want to say it's like
I have lost my age.
I don't remember.
he kind of like puts out one hand and like as it gets close to you, how does Nicholas react as like one hand comes towards him?
No funny business.
Kind of like stops and then just pats you on the shoulder. I too have forgotten how old I am. It gets complicated when the numbers get big.
Big number, hard to remember.
How are you so old, anyways?
Calendars based on the Great Cataclysm. So what? However, a little shorter than the Cataclysm. What was that? 1,500 years ago.
Yeah, you're about 1,450 some odd years old. You were like, it was about 60 years after civilization started to reestablish itself that I think he was born.
Just
If I
do-
remember our conversation, I think it's in our Discord chat.
Damn, man, you're fucking old.
It's very
He is old. The problem is, I have 3 character like templates for him, and each one with a different fucking age. All right, close enough. 1400s. I'm just gonna say that because it's close enough, and he probably doesn't remember his exact birthday, anyways. He could calculate it, but it's not really much point in it.
Do all creatures like you live that old?
No, I just happen. Why am I going Scottish? I happen to have a friendly relationship with a, let's say, a god who prefers I stay alive.
Mm. So are you friends?
Well,
Wow.
Sorry,
Do you
what?
talk to the god? Are you friends? Do you talk with them?
Yeah, usually yes, but they happen to be gone for the time being. I haven't talked to them in a few weeks.
Are they mad at you?
I do not believe so. I believe outside influences have delayed them.
What kind of outside influences would affect a god?
That is what I am here to find out.
I just thought you were here. Honestly, I never really asked. Why are you here?
Precisely what I just said. I am
Well,
here to figure
yeah,
out what
besides-
happened to Mistra, the god of magic.
Oh, I know that one. I read about her in the book. How are you looking for answers with us?
Well, my last message involving her, well, we were discussing you. Well, not you specifically, the party. And, well,
She talked about.
you all are my best lead.
Was it good things? Did she like the party?
She'd probably be pretty neutral.
It's
That's
okay.
a DM question.
Here, let me send you a message. So many.
I doubt she'd be like, I hate those bastards.
Those guys, they do weird shit.
those dumb motherfuckers won't stop. They just will not quit.
First, they tore a hole into the fabric of space and time. They released an unknown demon statue, which we have lost.
Died once. It's really annoying.
Yep, that's exactly what happened, Eric. That is 100% exactly what happened.
Damn it.
Okay, I need to finish what I'm typing.
Did Aerith guess what happened to his mother?
No, well,
No.
he sent his sister a message, and then his sister replied, but her reply cuts out halfway through the reply because she doesn't know the limitations of sending.
Sounds about right.
So Aerith is just like both hands in his or head in his both hands now. Is what are you guys doing for breakfast? This isn't something we talk about very often, but while you were deep within the bowels of the earth, what are you eating?
Mushroom.
I would not recommend it. They give very bad gas.
Ken can pick up create food and water.
I have a bag of chocolate. Ken is also muted, and I don't know if he's been talking.
I have been muted this whole time.
Oh no!
Ken's probably just having his
Our
own
poor boy.
conversation.
But
No.
question, yes, I do still have create food and water, but I'm whining because it's one of my third level slots.
Yeah.
That's why I had to ask.
So I was like, we can just eat rations. But yeah, nah.
Yeah.
I won't be that guy. I'll use create food and water.
Gotcha.
I mean, I've got
I would
rations
assume
if
we
you
would
want
have
to
bought.
save your spell.
Didn't we buy rations when
All,
we were
all
getting
these,
Ranger
all these
gear?
got rations on it too. So yeah,
Yeah.
if you want to save the spell slot, we can absolutely just rough it for one day and do rations. It's not the end of the world if you would like to hang on to one of your thirds.
Yeah,
Okay.
and at least
So,
possibly going into a bigger fight.
yeah. So yeah.
So if you've got rations, you can use them.
Yeah.
From here on out, we'll track. It's 1 rations per day per person. So we'll track it going forward, because I meant to do this going into the Dale Lands. It's going to be a little bit more survivally, as it's a lot more. You're outside civilization. But yeah, you can go ahead and start there today. All right, I got that. Did you want to do anything else, Aerith?
I don't want to use all my spells for this.
I know. I know. That's why I have to give you the choice, because you don't have to use them. You can hold on to them and call her tomorrow after the fight. That's totally fine. What's one more day?
I hate how you say it like that.
Mhm. As I sip nonchalantly from my water bottle.
I hope we one-shot your fucking brain.
Alright, while I am thinking about it, can I ritually cast Rory's telepathic
Ooh.
bond?
I didn't know I could do that.
Absolutely.
Doesn't that only last an hour?
You know what? Let's me find out before I cast it.
Yeah.
It does only last an hour. Never mind. I will cast it later.
I'm sorry.
No,
I know.
no, it's perfect. You're smart.
Yeah.
I think when I was creating characters, I looked at the spell and I was just like, this will be very useful. And then I saw the duration. I was just like, this will be
Yeah.
very
Less
useful in certain
useful.
situations.
You're right.
At certain
I'm
points in
glad you reminded me,
time.
though. Otherwise, we'd finally get to combat and it ends. It's like, huh?
Yeah, well, we need to have a psychic network in Tyranny of Dragons. It happened in Spelljammer. It happened in Icewind Dale. We had the message earrings in Strahd.
That didn't
Has to
really
happen.
last long.
No. They were complicated. It was the
Yeah.
best Craig could do.
And we ended up relying on whatever I was bringing to the table.
Yeah. Alright, so.
Your weird fucking.
My hair bracelet.
First the tokens, yeah, and then when you swapped your little heart tokens, which were less creepy than like hair bracelets for sure.
And actually ripping out hair or
A little
teeth
bit.
or nails.
The
And be
heart
like,
tokens
here,
came
friendship.
right on the coattails of it. So they were like, all the party members were like, we just went through this with that other one that just tried to steal the Tome of Strahd.
It was great.
It was great. It's such a good. Okay, back to the current game. As you all snack on
Does
your
Mr.
rations,
like us?
crunch on your hard crackers and dried fruits and
Jerky.
beef jerkies, you kind of like take a deep breath, Aerith, and make your decision, whichever you would choose, whether deal with it now or later, or later today, or
Too far down for me to send feathers out. So
You'd estimate you're probably about 3 or 4 miles below the surface right now.
And there's no like crevices that can lead up to the surface, so I can't send them out.
He could find his way out, but
Who
it would take
knows like
time.
what troubles if he gets attacked, he's poof.
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 Let's get
And
the
I still
children.
have my
Just-
arcane
just-
recovery.
just
I can
give
recover
him-
at 3rd level if needed.
Just give him a little saddle and have Todd ride him like a mount, and then you guys can coordinate, you and Nick. Easy.
Actually, speaking of, Nicholas, can you roll me a...
Oh no.
Well, no. I was going to say to roll for Todd's health, because right now he's got only the average health, but like Feathers, when he rolled for Feathers' health, he rolled a 4, so Feathers actually has more hit points than Todd.
Oh.
So if you want, you could roll and see if you can get more than 1 on Todd.
Yeah. What am I rolling? 1d4?
You roll a d4.
Wow. I was just like, Feather should have more health.
Two
I
hit
look at the hit points. It's just no. It's 1d4 minus 1. Fuck.
Yeah, it's 1d4 But hey, that's twice as many as he had before.
Yeah.
I will take.
All right, cool. All right. Okay. Any other business we want done this morning before we step
I'm
through?
gonna save my sending.
Okay.
Until after the fight. And
Okay.
would it be possible to use my arcane recovery to get back a 3rd level?
How does your arcane work? Spell slots can have a combined. Well, your wizard level's level 10.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, because you can do up to equal to or less than half your wizard level. You can do up to 5 levels. So you could have a level 3 and a level 2.
I only use 2 3rd levels.
Or a 4th and a 1, or but you wouldn't be able to do 2/3.
Yeah.
But you could also do a short rest later, you know.
I'll wait.
As you guys are having your morning breakfast, Magenta will kind of like look over each of you. He doesn't eat with you. He doesn't eat you either. Just so that
Well,
you
that's
guys know.
good.
But he just sort of like sits with you guys and goes, "Our path from here will stretch through the great chasm into the marketplace. We will have to traverse that spire to reach bridge upon the other side that will take us to," kind of like winces a little bit, "the brain's chamber. It is there that I suspect we will find the aberration."
The brain chamber. That sounds fun.
Chamber.
The brain chamber.
Do Mr. like me?
At least he's not like Gale, where he just fucks with Mistra.
Yeah.
Literally.
Yeah, it's quite literally.
I haven't been paying attention to his story. Oops.
The story is so good. It's so good.
I mean, I'm not
Yeah,
in
I
Act
mean-
3 yet, so...
I think you learn about it in Act 1. If you talk to
He
him.
drops hints throughout the entire story, yeah. If you talk to him, I guess.
He is a bit annoying, though, at the start.
He's just a wizard. I mean,
We'll be real.
Right.
To be fair, my
even if
first
you don't
encounter-
talk to him, he still does it. Cause like I didn't even have him in my party at all, and he was like, "Hey man, listen, I'm going
Yeah.
through a really tough time, and I need somebody to talk to." It's like, bro, I can't stress how much I don't give a fuck, but okay, I guess let's go sit and look at stars.
The first time I talked to him in the party, apparently, like, his thing was bugged, so he immediately tries to fuck me the moment I meet him.
that was the
Poor
bug.
Gale.
Was you started with max like relationship status with Gale.
Yeah!
You know,
It's like, huh? You want to do what, Gale?
Oh man.
He
I
does
like
have a pretty neat story though. His interaction with Mooster's both cool and unfortunate all at once.
It really is.
I like
Really.
how I can't remember if I was in the Underdark or in Act 2, but like I had the conversation with Gale and we were looking up at the stars and I'm just like, how are we doing that when we're underground?
It's the same
Magic.
stars that you look up as you step out the northern stairway in the gatehouse into the wide expanse of Drama Shore. You can see the shadowed smoke kind of billowing about 100 feet below you. This darkness that seems to actually have substance. And as you approach towards the edge, Magenta kind of leads you towards what looks like an old rickety rope bridge. He kind of looks back at each of you and goes, "We do not normally put our weight upon the bridge, but we utilize them to keep from being lost. Do not wander from the bridge. Do not listen to the abyss."
Now it talks.
As soon as he says, "Do not listen to the abyss," and how quickly Mia got mind control by the Oni looks directly at her and says, "Do not listen to the abyss." He's just staring her down.
So just go ahead and reveal as you guys like. So you step out of the front path. There's this like pathway that winds down into what looks like almost melted stone off of the two large stalagmite spires that are behind you, and then it kind of just like converges into this one rope bridge that stretches out. You can see, let's see, so varying levels of dark vision. Those of you with dark vision up to 60 feet can see the bridge, and it just sort of like expands into shadow. From beyond that, for another,
It's dark.
those of you who can see like 120 feet can see that about 100 feet away, the bridge lands on another landing similar to this that then leads into another large stalagmite spire that has these like little flickering lights on the side of it that look almost like firelight. Um, and I think, God, who of you has the longest dark vision? I want to say it's Oni and Aerith.
Probably.
Aerith has Devil's Sight.
It's probably gonna be Aerith because the Devil's Sight. Oni's just got like regular dark vision.
Okay, Aerith, roll
Yeah.
me a perception check.
Because I'm so good at those.
Perceive.
I perceived.
Hey.
Okay, as you look out, you kind of like
Good job.
squint your eyes, and the shadows begin to coalesce into more like textures, and you can see that the lights you're seeing are actually windows along the outside that are just sporadically placed in the side of this spire. And judging by the distance in the side, the spire itself you'd estimate to be maybe 800 feet wide. Massive, humongous, and capable of housing an entire village within. So, as Magenta drifts out, he kind of like puts one hand out and like he doesn't grab the rope, but his hand just sort of hovers above it, like he's just using the rope railing on the bridge to guide himself. How are the rest of you proceeding?
On my broom.
Okay.
I want to walk on the bridge.
Okay.
No, ma'am.
Bitch, you
I
thought.
Takes one step and takes one step onto the bridge and Ken picks you up by the back of the scruff.
No.
He said, "No, ma'am."
I will also have to be walking on the bridge.
No, old man. I pick him up and put him on my broom.
Okay. I am no longer walking on the bridge.
I'm having Mia piggyback, and I'm flying over.
I love the image of like Nicholas walking across the bridge, Aerith picking him up, but he just keeps acting like he's walking as Aerith picks him up and puts him on the bridge.
From like Looney Tunes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So as Magenta drifts out in the lead, Aerith following behind with Nicholas by the scruff, Ken, you stop Mia from stepping onto the bridge. You kind of pull her back and give her a look, and you crouch down so that she can climb onto your back, piggyback style. Oni?
Yeah, the wings just extend and he kind of just floats above the bridge like Magenta's doing.
Okay. All right. As you all head out over this massive dark expanse, you begin to hear not words, but just yes, coming from beneath you. This discordant kind of syllabolic whispering, but nothing leaps up. It's just unsettling. You progress carefully. Everybody roll me
Magenta,
a
what
wisdom
are the
save.
shadows saying?
Roll a what?
Wisdom save. And what was the question to Magenta?
What she was just asking him what the shadows were saying.
Do not listen to them. Ignore them.
Flash of Genius?
Okay, for 14.
Yes.
Is it a spell they're casting or doing?
No.
Okay.
It's the void calling to us,
The
whispering
If,
sweet
if this
nothings.
if this is a charm or a fear effect, you guys do get advantage because you're